Hey there, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Latasha, and I got my freelancing career started as a social media manager. Before that, I worked in corporate social media, so I have a lot to say about that career path. I've talked a lot about how to become a social media manager on this channel, but I haven't talked much about why you should become one. So today I'm going to share the top reasons that I think social media management is a good place to get your freelancing or your corporate career started. Let's hop in. Numero uno, there's something for every interest. Saying that you're a social media manager doesn't define your personality or your interests any more than saying, I'm a shopper. There are tons of different areas of focus in this field. Think of a social media manager who specializes in organic content creation versus a social media manager who specializes in Facebook ads, for example. And there are so many different industries you can work in. It's a great field for me because I personally love the startup world. I love tech. I love entrepreneurship in general. So before I really even dove in with my own business, I could be active in that space. You could say the same thing for someone who is passionate about fashion, music, sports, or anything else really. That leads me to number two. Almost every business needs one. According to one publication, social media manager roles are expected to see 9% job growth over the next 10 years, which means that it's relatively in demand and has a good outlook. I mean, think about it. What kinds of businesses aren't active on social media nowadays? Dentists, doctors, nonprofits, retail stores, universities, they're all on social media. And don't even get me started on online businesses like coaches, consultants, and content creators. Of course, some of those categories will choose to run their own social media, but there's a huge percentage that chooses to either hire someone to handle it in-house, or they like to work with a freelancer or an agency to make the magic happen for them. Number three, with that said, there is growth potential. So a recent op-ed in Forbes expressed that they think the next crop of CMOs will be today's social media managers, and I couldn't agree more. Social media managers are responsible for so much more than what our job title describes. We're strategists, creatives, communications, and crisis management experts. Some of us are designers, videographers, email strategists, on-camera personalities. I could go on. It's all related. When a company hires me, it's pretty rare that I'm not touching all of the different jobs within the marketing department. When I worked in corporate, I would meet regularly with the web team to touch base on content being uploaded to the site. I'd chat with the PR team about press releases and company news. I'd work with designers, copywriters, project managers, the go-to-market team, pretty much everyone on my floor. And the same is true for the work that I do in my own business. Number four, the pay is already pretty all right. Pay scale shows the average social media manager salary sitting around $51K, which is right around the $50,000 or so annual average salary in the United States. Now, of course, that number will vary according to location, seniority, and plenty of other factors, but I'd say my first corporate social media manager job was around that range. Now, keep in mind, that's talking just about full-time salaries. Freelance averages are a bit more difficult to find solid data around, but just based on my experience as a freelancer myself and as a coach to several other freelancers and agency owners, hitting the six-figure mark in your 20s or early 30s is not at all unheard of in this field. Social media management is also a great side hustle. So even though I was already making $50K or so when I worked in corporate, I also made lots more doing freelance work on the side. Number five, there's a relatively low barrier to entry. So I found that most traditional 9-to-5s will expect you to have a bachelor's degree, but freelancing is a whole different ballgame. There are no official requirements to be a freelancer for most companies, and even if you do decide to get a degree like I did, there are plenty of fields of study that could be relevant or helpful to you. For example, I went to school for film and political science, not marketing. Sure, PR or advertising are the more typical routes to go down for social media management, but English majors, photography majors, psychology majors, and so many more, they could all probably put their degrees to good use in the social media management world too. Now, if you don't choose to get a degree, education is super important still. It's even important for those of us who did go to school. Understanding social media, business, and marketing strategy through books, courses, and other resources is so important. I'd also highly recommend investing in a coach or a mastermind group to glean insights from others in this industry. Number 6, you can do it from pretty much anywhere. One of the biggest reasons that I chose to work for myself was the ability to travel whenever I wanted. All I really need is a laptop and an internet connection and, maybe a camera to do my job. Earlier this year, I took a working vacation to Denver, and I had planned to do a bunch more 3 to 4 day solo trips, but obviously that didn't happen this year. Hopefully in the next couple of years, that will be a reality though. Of course, this also varies depending on whether you're working in-house or for yourself, but even when I worked in corporate, I worked from home 3 days per week. I'm expecting to see more and more of that in the future, even after concerns with this virus are no longer an issue. Working remote really is the future. And number 7, it's a lot of fun. Yes, it's true. This job can be stressful. There is a lot of responsibility, and traditionally there's not a ton of support in many organizations. But being a social media manager means that every day, every hour, every client is a new experience. Even when I worked in my corporate job, which was a little bit more routine, the days were different, the meetings were different, the seasons were different. I rarely got bored. I think it's also a job where you get to uncover a lot of your hidden superpowers. For me, I really lean a lot on my video training that I went to school for, and I create a lot of social first video content. Other people I know really shine as copywriters or graphic designers, and those things could easily lead you down a totally new career path or just the opportunity to grow, like I mentioned in point number 3. Plus, there aren't many other people who can say that watching TikToks or scrolling Facebook is actually a part of their job description. So if you're interested in becoming a social media manager, I've got a great video for you that I'll link up in the cards and also down below. And I'll also link my online course, which caters specifically to freelance social media managers looking to get their business up and off the ground. And please don't forget to subscribe. I post videos 3 times per week about social media management, entrepreneurship, and self-development. And I don't want you to miss a thing. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I will see you in the next one. Bye.